guy, the court has threatened to jail DSS boss, and that is Bichi, over continued detention of human rights activists, the CEO of Sahara Reporters, convener of revolutionary protests, Omoyele Sowore, and Olawale Bakare, the 23-year-old man that has been kept in the custody of the DSS ever since they were abducted, kidnapped. That's a word that I like to use, not arrested. A federal high court sitting in Abuja on Monday threatened to imprison the Director General of the Department of State Services, Yusuf Bichi, over the agency's refusal to release detained activists Omoyele Sowore and Olawale Bakare, widely known as Mr. Mandate. Recall that the courts on November 6, 2019, ordered the release of the activists after they met their bail conditions. In fact, they met bail conditions twice. First, it was Justice Taiwo, and when the government, this authoritarian government, dictatorship government, realized that they couldn't get anything out of that, they decided to shop for their own person that would do their own bidding, and they did look for one Justice Ijoma Ojukwu that actually perfected what they needed. But at the end of the day, he was still able to jump that hurdle, and now the DSS are now the ones playing the game, saying that Omoyele Sowore might be hit by a car if they release him, and now they claim that they need to see the sureties after the court had already ratified, after the court had already granted the bail, after they have submitted the required documentations. And I believe that the court has already seen those documentations and what needs to be done. Why should these sureties come forward and show their face? This shows that these people are not ready to release Omoyele Sowore until Buhari ends his term and the new 2023 criminal comes in, if Nigeria will still remain Nigeria. Anyway, a notice of consequence of disobedience of court order Form 48 marked FHC ABJ CR 235 2019 obtained by Sahara Reporters was served on Bichi by the court's bailiff. And one would wonder if these people care about this, because when someone is charged, when someone commits an offense, let's assume the person is innocent until proven that the person is guilty, and the person goes to the court. The next thing is for the enforcement agency to make sure that the punitive measures are administered to that person. Is that how it works in a saner climate, in a society where things work? But unfortunately, reverse is the case. The judicial system is just a figurehead. All they do is just to sit and talk, and afterwards the enforcement agency care less about the ruling of the court. Simply put, the power is no longer with the people, but the power is with certain groups of cabals and elites and criminals that are right now in power. And you know what? They are trying to push for hate speech, so as to shut any dissent and shut down anybody that wants to speak against any of their inimical, endemic, subterranean activities. That is what these people are involved in. That is what they are only concerned about. The court's document reads, take notice that unless you obey the directions contained in this court order of the Federal High Court, Abuja, made on November 6, 2019, which ordered you to release the defendants, applicants in suit number FHC, I've read that, I'm not going to go through that again, forthwith, you will be guilty of contempt of court and will be liable to be committed to prison. And I think this guy care less. They care less because they know they are the prison themselves. They are the judge. They are just everything. The court has been informed that you are yet to comply with the lawful order of the court by refusing to release the defendants and applicants, namely Omoyele Stephen Sowore and Mr. Olawale Adebayo, aka Mandate, in your custody. You are hereby directed to comply with the court order forthwith, or you will be guilty of contempt of court. Sowore, famed globally for exposing Nigerians' corrupt politician, was arrested in Lagos. I use the word kidnap in Lagos on August 3rd. Until now, till date, 2019, Omoyele Sowore, November, is still in that custody of these criminals for calling on Nigerians to take to the streets to in a peaceful demonstrations to demand a better country for the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, the same Buhari did in a very aggressive manner, where he is quoted to have said that Egypt will be paradise compared to what Nigeria will become if he is not given the opportunity to become president. And lo and behold, Nigerians, professors, people in that contraption called Niger area, some of them stood behind this man because they were sold the lies and scam of integrity. I don't know why people are so gullible, and he was given that position. And I won't blame them. That is because the past administration has not been anything better. They are also what you call all complete comprise. All what makes them what they are is just corruption, stealing, and looting. The government is accusing Omoyele Sowore of insulting President Muhammadu Buhari and planning to bring down his regime. I don't want to call it government, his regime, because I see this as a military junta. Charges that were trucked up were brought up against both of them. That is Olawale Adebayo and Omoyele Sowore. Around the world, people have described all of these charges as useless, baseless, despite two separate orders by the Federal High Court in Abuja directing his release after meeting stringent bail conditions. The DSS has refused to release Omoyele Sowore and Olawale Adebayo, casting a huge shadow over the human rights record of Buhari's regime. It's just because a lot of people forget so soon who Buhari was. Probably they remember just one or two things about Buhari and they feel that Buhari is a man of integrity. Buhari is the same person that came up with Decree 4, Decree 8. And this decree simply is just to shut down dissent, shut down media, shut down anyone. And they are now putting this underneath hate speech. Now, I'm not saying that hate speech is something that should be allowed in any society. But in the society that hate speech is being pushed, this society have provided, even though at that level the hate speech is still okay, let's say censorship and all of that, they are still treading carefully. But in the case here, they don't care about anyone. I thought by now Buhari would have seen what the cancer is in the system, in that contraction called Nigeria, and that is corruption. I thought that is what he would have worked on, as he claimed that is the mandate that he claimed that he was going to fulfill. I thought he would have brought out the same death penalty for corrupt politicians, and many of them would have been extradited back from wherever they are. Some of them are in the UK, some of them are running from one Caribbean country to the other. They stole, and some of them are existing in that contraption called Nigeria. Many of them want Nigeria to remain together because it gives them hope that the system will continue like that. And they know that they have no hope if Nigeria breaks apart. Many of them are comfortable with the system because they care less about it. Their kids have already been positioned. They've already gotten foreign citizenship. So they care less. And they have all stolen money. And with the corporation, with the agreements, with the criminal activities they had with the people in the Western world, they've been able to ship down the money that they've stolen, and they've kept this money over there overseas in their banks. What a shame. So the court has decided to jail the SS. Hopefully this is not just a threat. Hopefully this will actually happen. But then I do not really see that this is going to happen anyway, as these people are the ones running the show. Bichi, the head of the DSS, or the spokesperson, Afunaya, these people are just figurehead. They are just like dolls that are being used here and there. They are actually doing the bidding of the cabals of the presidency, of the president himself. It is when Buhari say release him, then they will release Omoyele Sowore. If Buhari say keep him there, that is what it is. The law of the land means nothing to those people. What do you call this? Dictatorship. And you will realize that Buhari cannot arrest people like Babangida. Buhari cannot arrest people like Obasanjo. Buhari cannot arrest the rest of the military criminals that we know exist in Nigeria. Some might say, no, he's not. These people are not. But then there are cases that have been brought out against them, such as payment of salaries to their workers out of the coffers of the government's treasury. We heard those cases, but these things have gone down and we're not hearing anything about that. And we know that these guys, they were involved in in looting, and they might claim that they did not. But whatever it is, I expected these people to have been probed also, both dead and alive. I expect them to be probed, but that is not the case as it is. So the court threatens to jail DSS boss over continued detention of Omoyele Sowore and Olawale Bakare. That is what it is for now. If you're not part of this channel, simply tap on the subscription button and the red notification icon bell. That will automatically make you a member of this channel. Thanks for stopping by.